What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Cheese Talk podcast. I'm your host, Brian Rego. Today I'm joined with Carlos, aka C to the Los 77 on Twitter or X,
X.
whatever you want to call it. Um, we'll be talking sports and life today. I'd like to give a shout out to the Ope Network for giving me the chance to go under their umbrella and podcast for them. They are 58 followers away on X from giving away an 8x10 autographed Jair Alexander photo as Ohana_Packers. All right, Carlos, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a Cali boy. I'm a big wrestling fan. So I'm on X. I have about 46,000 followers, I think. But yeah, I just try to be a positive person. I'm someone who's gone through a lot in life, and so in my profile says be the change you want to see in the world, and that's just something I try to do. I just try to keep a positive outlook with things. I think I love about sports is sports unite us, and I feel like in a time where I feel like our country is just looking for reasons to be divided, I think that sports is something that can unite all people. Like nobody goes to a sporting event and asks who'd you vote for, or anything like that. It's just people just get together and they root for their teams, and I think sports, like I said, it's just a powerful thing that we have in our society that can bring change and bring people together.
Yeah, and I won't go into anything specific, but there's just some things out there that I've seen lately with certain organizations celebrating diversity and people having their opinions. I mean, it's like they're almost looking for a reaction, and then they question the negative reaction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean the thing about, like, you're talking about Pride Month. I mean the thing is, like, with that, again, I mean, I'm gay, so that's the thing, for me. So it's like I don't look at that stuff, like you got to do your own thing. But to me, like I tell people, it's capitalism, like that's the thing. These like these organizations I look at, it's like, are you giving your time and money to organizations? Or are you just trying to do this to capitalize on trying to be trendy, stuff like that? So I look at things like this. But that's the thing, the sports are for all too. So I see both sides of it. But at the same time, like I tell people, you can choose not to comment and just keep scrolling, and that's the thing. Like people, like you said, they want to gaslight things and say stuff. And I actually left a group chat yesterday because people were saying negative things. And I was like, look, there's things that I don't like too, but I choose to keep scrolling. You don't gotta add to the divide already. That's the thing. Like everyone's looking for a reason to get mad, and why add fuel to the fire?
Yeah, I always look to be positive. I'll stick up for people regardless, just because, you see someone getting bullied, that you feel like you gotta say something just like kind of bluntly, and
and that's my thing too. I'm somebody who was bullied my whole life too, and so like now I'm not afraid of people. I'm not afraid to speak up for myself. Like, and that's even like when, like, that's something I do try to say too. Fight for the voiceless. Fight for those who are too afraid to speak up for themselves. Like that's something I pride myself in doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good for you, man. That's awesome. Well, pre-chats, you told me that you were a Patriots and a Raiders fan.
Quite the mix, huh?
So, how long have you been a fan of both? For quite a while.
So like the Patriots over 30 years. So I grew up, like, that's the thing about sports. Like sometimes you're born into a fandom, right? And so like when I was little, like I'm a diehard Oakland A's fan, and like for me, like the Oakland A's, because they're the first team that I discovered, right? Like my family were Giants fans, and I was drawn to like the Oakland A's back in 5th grade. They had these like Paw sticker books, and you would like collect stickers of all your players. And my friend was like, "Do you have Mark McGwire?" I'm like, "What? Who's Mark McGwire? I gotta find out who this guy is." And so I was on the hunt to like go find that sticker. And then I remember just watching TV, and this is in 1988, right? So I'm turning on the TV and they're winning, right? So it's like, hey, who doesn't like a winner, And so like, I remember watching them, and I hate Kirk Gibson to this day of those little chug. It makes me mad, but like I was enamored with baseball, and then like football, like I was like my dad was like, they were Niners fans, and then I was always enamored with the red, white, and blue, So I just kind of started following the Patriots, and then I was living in San Francisco, and I have a good friend who's he's like a season ticket holder fan to the Raiders, right? And his season tickets are on the 45-yard line of the visiting team, right? So I literally got to sit right behind Tom Brady, but I couldn't cheer for him because my friend, he's like, if I take you to the game, you can't cheer for people. You can't cheer for them. I'm like, all right. I'm like, I'll go. I want to go. And my stepdad's a diehard Raiders fan. So Like the first game I ever went to was like pouring down rain, and so like nobody wanted to go because it was like really bad conditions. So I had bought us originally seats up high, and then I ended up getting my friend to sell us. And this is like they were $100 seats. That's how cheap they were back in like the 2000s.
Wow.
And this is again front row, 45-yard line, and so like we went there, and so like. And then all my friends in the Bay Area were just Raider fans too. And so after you get to go to a lot of games and tailgate, I mean, I got to go to like 4 games a year, so just through their fandom and like honestly learning about like how much Al Davis sacrificed to like change the league, like Al Davis was really a pioneer as far as like, African coaches and they just still sticking up to the other owners and like just moving back to Oakland and being like, F you, I'm gonna do what I want. Like, I like that kind of gusto, and so the fact that he wasn't afraid to do what he felt was right made me really a champion of the organization, and so I just again blessed to go there, and again after the Tuck game, it's like it's just weird. And so even when on X, people ask me like, "Who's your favorite team?" I'm like, "Oh God, here we go." It's like but at the same time, like you don't got to explain your fandom to nobody either. Like you have the right to love who you love, and that's something I always tell people: like who you like. Who cares if you feel like you want to like every team, then kudos to you, man. Because I think that fantasy football definitely dirties the waters too, because now you're rooting for players against your team, and it's like how can like even my friend who had the season tickets, his name's Derek, his name's Dre. He hates fantasy football because he would go to games with our friends and they'd be watching their phone rooting for the guys against the Raiders, because they needed to win their fantasy game. And so till this day he will not play fantasy football. That's how far his fandom goes.
Right. So the Raiders and the Patriots, one thing I can think of is the fumble.
That's what, yeah.
So was it a fumble or wasn't it a fumble?
Brady's even said it wasn't a fumble now. If you watch the Patriots documentary on which is a great documentary, I recommend it. It's on Apple TV. Okay. I don't think he got the right call.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on your team's drafts this year? Do you think they addressed what they needed?
Yeah, because I think they got the best players available. I think when you're rebuilding like that, like they are, you don't jump the gun. You got to just stay the course. I think the Raiders made the right coaching decision. Like I would, even when they let go of the other coach, I was like, please don't try to go for something glitz and glamoury, because that's Mark Davis's thing. He's trying to make his name. Even for me, Tom Brady might become a part owner of the Raiders. It's kind of exciting for me.
Yeah,
but I think you just got to steer the course. I think with Belichick too, I think he made the wrong decision with letting go of Brady. I mean, Brady's my go. And so I think he's the greatest coach ever, but I think his time has expired. I think both organizations are doing what they need to move forward. So yeah, I'm happy with the draft. Like I said, they took what they needed to take.
The thing that was nice about Brady though, he sacrificed as well in the Patriots, giving up money that he could have been demanding top dollar every single year. And he didn't do it because he wanted the team to go out and get weapons for him.
And then they didn't, then they didn't go get the weapons he wanted. That's the thing. Like, even when, like, so like what you just said too, like when people ask me, like, who's the greatest tight end ever? I'm always like Gronk. And they're like, well, what do you, and then I'm like, you don't realize like Gronk sacrificed his body for Tom Brady. Like Gronk, he blocked for him. Like he gave up stats. Like he was like his wingman. Like he literally sacrificed years of his playing career to protect his quarterback. And so I'm like, and that's something that people don't take into account when they talk about the greatest tight end ever.
So what do you think was the biggest strength and weaknesses for both your teams?
I think, honestly, it's legacy. I think the fans want them to win now. And so I think that the weaknesses sometimes is that you got to
have a down year to be successful.
You gotta have down years to be successful. People don't want to accept it. But I think the Patriots, like I said, I think they're both their strengths are they have ownership that wants to win. They have ownership that's in good, but at the same time they take into account like they have good people leading the path, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I like Antonio Pierce as a coach. He has a fire.
Dude,
people run through a brick wall for him.
That's exactly what I tell people. Any player, like you can't teach that, like you could give the guy all the offensive weapons in the world. You could give him everything else, but it's that winner's mentality, like that something that's going to make somebody that's average turn into above average. And that's something that even Brady and Belichick could do too. That's, that was the culture that they had. And if they can instill that with the Raiders too, I think that's a big win.
Who did the Raiders bring in for a quarterback? I know they have Aiden McConnell, right?
What's his name? Jinshaw? Is that Jinshaw? The one that looks like a porn star?
Yeah. Minshew,
which he fits. He fits the culture. So I think that's that's a good move for them. I like it.
Yeah. I just hope that Devontae doesn't, get too big of a head and get affect the team if he's not getting getting his catches.
Yeah, I mean, the same time, if he does, then you trade him. You trade him during the trade deadline. I get players wanting to win too, and it's hard when you're and especially with running backs. I mean, their lifeline, their careers are getting shorter and shorter in the NFL. So, I get running backs. I get everybody wanting to go out and get their touches. Because you only got so much playing time. I get it.
Right. What do you think of Jacobs going to the Packers?
That's just you guys. I think it's a great move for him, and again, it's a win-win for everybody. I mean, I don't fault players for getting traded, getting money. I mean, that's the thing that you have to learn in the NFL is you don't get too attached because nobody's loyal. I mean, even the contracts aren't guaranteed, so
right.
It's kind of a rough league.
Right. When that happened, I was like, oh, that's cool. Aaron Jones, Josh Jacobs, what a 1-2 combo. Then like an hour later, they released Aaron Jones. I'm like, I was upset for like a day, but you got to move on. It's a business. You know what I'm saying? You got to realize that, you sit back and you think, well, Jacobs is 3 years younger, probably getting him, for a decent deal. I mean, you can get a good three years out of him, and if towards the end of his contract, you can maybe trade him. The same thing, you just don't know. I don't know. But the thing that kind of stung though is Aaron Jones going to the Vikings, but it is what it is, Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite us, but I think with our draft, we shored up what was our weakness last year, which was our run defense. We had gaping holes in the middle. It was just, I mean, and you had linebackers playing on wide receivers and giving them a 10, 13-yard cushion on the line. It's like, what the hell is going on,
Yeah, defense wins games, man.
Yeah, they win championships, and I love their move on getting Xavier McKinney, free agent, 24 years old, just not even in his prime yet. He has a lot to prove and a lot to show, and he's going to make our defense even better. And then you get a new defensive coordinator, a new defensive scheme. I think that's all going to help, I think, the defense, obviously. Who is your favorite player, current or all time, for the Raiders and the Patriots?
So for the Raiders, I love Charles Woodson, and for the Patriots, of course, Tom Brady.
Okay, that was quick. I love Charles Woodson. He's my favorite player of all time.
I was there for his last game in Oakland, and it's always like a. I can feel it right now, just the energy in the crowd, and that's when the fans are trying to get them to stay in Oakland. And again, I was sitting right behind the Chargers sideline, and I hate Phillip Rivers, so I was talking mad smack to him, and I got him to turn around, which is always a win, and so
that's awesome.
Yeah, he was bummed. I have so many stories I could just go on about, just again, so when you got bad years and you're sitting there and your team, and then my friend would get drunk, and then again, everybody that they're all selling their tickets, so you're literally surrounded by the enemy. I mean, oh my God, so many funny stories of just almost fights, but my friend knew the security guards. It was good time, man.
And you see all these fights on social media. Oh, dude, holy crap.
I remember my friend calling this guy's mom. Can I cuss on here? Is that okay?
Go ahead.
I remember my friend's mom calling this lady a bitch, and the kid's like, "That's my mom," and I was just crazy, shut up, bitch, and right, at the game, and the kid's like, "That's my mom," and then it was just craziness times, because my friend was very big about, you're in our house, have respect, but because everybody has liquid courage going on, it gets really messy. And of course, I'm so wasted. I mean, we're doing shots at 8 a.m. in the tailgate party. It's just, because we're on the West Coast, so you get started a lot easier, sooner. So we're literally, I remember my first game, we're going to the game, and my friend's like, "Okay, we're getting up at 6. I go, "We're getting up at 6 to go tailgating?" I'm like, "What are you smoking?" And sure enough, we had to be there because the gates open at 8 o'clock. And then he had a friend who he had DirecTV in his van. So we would literally just sit there and party. And we had the 6 screens. So we sit there and watch all the games before we went to the stadium. And people were bringing us food and drinks because they wanted to watch the games on our TVs, just fun times, man. Again, just good times.
Yeah. Tailgating at a Packer game. I mean, there's probably people there sunrise.
Yeah.
Lighting up their grills and drinking, and
exactly. Yeah.
That's one of the things about sports that is awesome, is you can just walk a parking lot and just meet a bunch of cool people offering you a beer or a hot dog or a burger or, whatever. Just kind of like you said, it brings people together.
Yeah, like that's, and I even thought in my profile, it's like sports unite us. I think it's one of those things that we have that can still unite us. And again, it just it's a language. It really is. It's like you don't focus on your differences. You're there to celebrate your team, and again, you could have Mr. Blue Collar with Mr. Multi-millionaire. Nobody thinks anyone's different. It's just everyone having a good time.
Right, absolutely. When you hear Green Bay, what comes to mind? Like I assume you haven't been to Green Bay, but you've heard a lot about the history of the team, obviously. So.
I mean, here's the thing, man. I don't only when it comes to hating a team, like I hate the San Francisco. I don't hate football teams. I hate baseball teams. So like with football, I get the business of the game, and so like football's I respect an organization that has a winner's mentality. And again, I'm from the same area as Aaron Rodgers, so Aaron Rodgers actually built a playground in my hometown for people. Right. I mean, I think cheeseheads, obviously, that's the big thing. But I also think it's a unique organization because you can be an owner of the team. Like it's a publicly owned team. I think it's a really cool. And I think again, I appreciate the culture of the team, but I definitely the first thing I think is cheeseheads, and then it's a winner's mentality. I mean, again, it's a team that has a rich heritage.
Yeah, if you ever have the chance to come to Green Bay, I think you'd be blown away by it. They have it's a Packers Hall of Fame. It's a 2-story, just history from beginning to current of all the people that came through, all the people that they inducted into the Ring of Honor, into the Packers Hall of Fame. I mean, it's just something that, I mean, even someone that doesn't like the team, just to come and see the history. Game-worn cleats of Reggie White, grass-stained pants of Reggie White. Maybe a football, Charles Woodson intercept. It's just a lot of stuff like that. It's pretty cool to come and
I would be down. It's one of the things. If you say if I ever win the lotto, first you got to play the lotto to win it, right? But I would love to. I would love to go experience every college football, or the atmosphere. I'd love to go to every hockey game, every Major League Baseball stadium, and every NFL stadium. I just think it's just to experience that culture and just experience what it feels like. I mean, I love that kind of feeling. Soccer too,
UW-Madison, the Wisconsin Badgers, that's a tailgate. That's a big, huge party too. That is absolutely crazy. I grew up around that, so
even for me, with the Oakland A's, them leaving to go to Vegas and stuff like that. It's I've been to games where it was a sellout, when the team was winning, and the passion's there, but the fans just feel so cheated by the owners. Just it's there if you would invest in it, and that's something I like about football is all the teams have to invest money. They have to you don't get away with not putting money into your team. So that's something that I like that's fair about football. It's a very business. The business of football keeps it fair and keeps it, at least your team's going to spend money whether they win or lose.
Right. All right. I'm going to ask you one more sports related question. I'm going to ask you some life questions.
Sure.
Down. What are your expectations for the Patriots and the Raiders?
Honestly, I feel like they're last place finishes in each of their divisions. I mean, but at the same time, I just want them to be competitive. I want to see them keep building towards the future. If they can trade a star to get a good return, that's fine. But I have realistic expectations. They're both rebuilding. I mean, and I'm not some diluted fan that thinks they're going to go win the Super Bowl, or go win the division. It's rebuild and build a culture that's gonna bring back that winning mentality to both organizations.
Yeah, and the thing that I like too about the Raiders, if I had a favorite second team, I would go with the Raiders because I do have a Woodson Raiders jersey. Yeah. Back when I'm a huge cheesehead, but I've liked Woodson since his days in Michigan. So when they went to the Super Bowl and whatever against the Buccaneers, I went out and bought a Woodson jersey. And
nice.
So I think they'll do decent. I really do. You got a leader like Devontae Adams on offense. He can kind of steer the team in the right direction. He's been in a locker room where it's been successful. Antonio Pierce, he's going to turn that organization around, I think. I
do too. Like you said, it's a winning culture and people want to play for him. Honestly, I could see both teams going 7-10 or 8-9. That's my realistic expectations, but I expect them to be realistic. I mean, be competitive in every game, and I also expect them to get people a run for their money too.
Right. I mean, last year, we lost Aaron Rodgers. Packers they're in a rebuild. I mean, halfway through the season, they just clicked and people didn't want to play them, you know?
Yeah.
And they got to build off of that for this next year. So hopefully your rebuild isn't like a full rebuild. It's just, you know, something that's very, very short and they can be successful.
I hope so.
All right. Just some random questions for you, Carlos. How's that sound?
Well, it depends on the questions. Let's see how I'm damn game.
They're just, I just went and just thought of some questions and wrote them down. There's nothing too, I guess. First one is, what do people misunderstand about you most?
I think my passion, like I'm a very passionate person. Like I wear my heart on my sleeve, and so sometimes people can think that I'm being too aggressive when I'm just really passionate. I just think that people, I mean, like I said, being LGBTQ people, they want to fit you into this little cookie cutter thing of what they think you are, and I'm not that at all.
Right.
Like you know, I'm every, and then even like with being Hispanic too, like I'm third generation born in the United States of America too. You know, like I'm very red, white, and blue. It's like I just I think people just pre notions, but yeah, I think easy answer. I'll go wearing my heart on my sleeve. Like people take my aggression as like take my passion for aggression, and it's not, it's passion.
Right. Yeah, people think I'm, you know, about 5'11", 255, and people think I'm a big badass, but I'm not. You know, I mean, I have 5 kids, and I coach sports. I've been married for 16 years, together with my wife for 18, 19 years. So, I mean, I'm a kid at heart. You know, sometimes I can be a little goofy, but at the end of the day, I care about everybody, and that's just who I am. What's your favorite childhood memory?
Oh man. Honestly, just being able to play outside. I think just like being able, like where I live with my grandma's, like it's a very industrial area. And so like this, like my neighbors and I, we'd go play like tag at night, and we like, and our parents never had to worry like, oh my God, we're gonna come safe. Just the safer, innocent times. I miss that, like having lemonade stands, like just getting to be able to be a kid, you know, like that's what I miss. I think, and I feel sad that kids today can't experience that.
Yeah, because there's so much terrible stuff that goes on, and I mean, stuff happened back then too. But I mean, I guess we'd be more aware of it if we had social media back then, you know. But we really didn't have anything except for the rotary phones and.
But now, just like people like. I feel like it's become like the land of opportunists. And so people like now people don't want to work to get ahead. They want to go try to steal things or take advantage of people or steal packages, or there's a lot more things of value out there today too, that are just different, you know? And it's just like, and I don't think people ever used to pay for kids like they do today. I mean, there's just so many, just times are crazier now because people, I feel like before you could take no for an answer. Now nobody wants to take no for an answer. Like I want what I want, and I'm going to get it any way possible.
Yeah, that can be scary.
Exactly. Like people are crazy for what they don't want to take no. People can get scary. It's just,
you told me no.
Right. Exactly.
What has been your favorite job you've had? If you can comment, yes. If not, not a big deal. I don't know if anyone's watching that knows you, but or that you work with.
Honestly, like the last like back when the pandemic was happening, like I was like one of those people where I was like, am I gonna like sit around and be sad and be isolated, or am I gonna work? So I was doing gig work. So I was doing like Uber Eats and in DoorDash and Grubhub, and I was making more money than I ever made. I made 6 figures doing that stuff, you know. And so those were happy times for me, like getting to be out there providing service for people, like getting to like see things shut down, like seeing a town that's busy and jumping, and like see it dead, and like those are just memories you'll never give back. And just the feeling of like helping small businesses keep their doors open, servicing people, like it was an interesting time, and I'm glad I did it. You know, and that's why even like I feel like I disconnected from sports a little bit, because like I was literally working every day, like 16 hours a day, you know, and I was just, because it was like I saw an opportunity and I took it, and I went and worked, you know, because that's what I need to do for myself.
You made 6 figures. I mean, you're in California, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously the cost of everything out there is more expensive than. But I mean, still, that's you're hustling to make 6 figures.
I was hustling. Yeah, I was making like
doing DoorDash.
They were doing DoorDash. There's days I made like one. I'll never forget when Uber Eats, because Uber Eats, like, it was so funny. I used to drive Uber and I'm very vocal, so I don't take crap. And so I remember like people would just complain. I'm like, well, because I remember my first time ever doing Uber, I had to take somebody to San Francisco. I'm like, are you kidding me? And so I'm driving around San Francisco, and then like someone complained about my driving. I go, yeah, because I'm in San Francisco, man. I'm from a small town of 5,000 people, and my first ever pickup was to go take, because he was a kid. I was going to Chico State where Aaron Rodgers goes, and he was supposed to, his parents were supposed to come down, and so he couldn't make it. And he was from Sweden. We actually became friends, and so I had to like drive him all the way there. And so on the way back, I'm like, I might as well make some money. So I was taking like some Ubers down there, and then I was complaining like, yeah, because I don't know the area. Like it's scary. Even when I lived there, I hate driving there. And so people are just naive. Like people just common sense would tell you I'm a little freaked out driving. So I remember Uber, like they told me, we're not gonna let you do Uber anymore. We're gonna let you do Uber Eats instead. I'm like, okay. And I would do Uber Eats. I was making way more money than I ever was on Uber. I mean, there was times, I remember one time they paid me because they were trying to get competitive with everybody else, right? They paid me $65 to take one Taco Bell order for somebody one day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, for one order, the payout was $65. I mean, I was making like $800 a day just doing deliveries. So on good days, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What's the tax rate out there though? Is that, I mean, $800 is what take home?
Oh, that's the thing for me though, is I actually started my own nonprofit charity. That's another thing about me too. Like it's called Conquer the No. I've kind of let it fall a little bit, but I put a lot of money into that. But I put a lot of money into charity and stuff. So I actually ended up not really having to pay a lot of taxes because I donated a lot of it to charity. Well, and I was just being smart about it. Yeah.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah. Instead of paying Uncle Sam, I might as well make a difference with the money, you know?
Right. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
You know, honestly, I like Philadelphia. I'm gonna say Philly.
Okay, become a Philly fan.
I don't know about that. I mean, the Philadelphia A's were there, so I could use that. You know what it was? I went to go visit there during the pandemic, and I remember like just walking. Like I literally. So here's a cool fact about me. I got to see the Liberty Bell by myself for 10 minutes. Like I got the whole display to and that's something that's never happens. But because there was no one else in town, I went there on that Saturday, and I was the first person there. Nobody was there for 10 minutes. I literally had the whole exhibit to myself for 10 minutes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But it was like being in California where everything else was like locked down, everything else. And I went there and it was like, I just remember I asked the people at the hotel, I was like, is there anywhere I mean, because again, I'm used to going to Tenderloin in San Francisco, which is a very scary part of it. And again, I still walk around in Oakland. I don't care. I'm like, they're like, you sure gonna walk? And I go, yeah, they're just people with a bad situation. Not everyone that lives in a bad neighborhood is a bad person. Sometimes you're just a product of your environment, you know? And so I'm not scared to go anywhere. And so I remember going to Philly and just asking, is there anywhere I shouldn't go? And they're like, no, you can pretty much go anywhere and feel safe. So I would literally just go walking everywhere. And then I'm a big Rocky fan. I just fell in love with the city when I was there. And so I said, if I ever moved to a big city, that would be the city.
Yeah, I think if I were to go if I could live anywhere I wanted to, or my favorite place to go or live, I'd somewhere in Italy, probably from where my ancestors came from, just to try to dig into my family past, or half my family past, and just kind of get a feel like what it was like for them and what they went through and stuff like that. But right now I'm just outside of Green Bay, Wisconsin. So I guess I'm living a dream too, because I'm right by Lambeau Field. So
have you lived there your whole life?
No, I grew up just south of Madison, Wisconsin. Okay. My wife is from where I'm at right now, so we got married and moved back north. So. Nice. So yeah, I'm about 2.5 hours away from home, so it's not too bad.
Not bad, but yeah, no. But if it wasn't Philadelphia, it'd be Costa Rica too. I like, but at the same time, like if you live in paradise, is like they always say, if you live in paradise, is it still paradise? You know, that's the question. So that's the hard part about living there.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't mind Costa Rica either.
Well, if you won the lottery, you could have destination places everywhere.
Oh, I already have it all planned out in my head what I would do. Yeah.
I would change my phone number, get a moving truck, and get the hell out of here.
I'd probably be the East Coast. It'd probably be the East Coast in the summer, and then the West Coast in the fall and the winter, because I don't want to deal with the snow. No, thank you.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
0 degrees and being snowed in and having no, thank you. You deal with that stuff, right? Yeah.
No, yeah. You
No,
you
thank
see
you.
people. I mean, I'm sure I've had pictures on X and everything, but then you got to laugh at people like down in like Tennessee and Florida. They get like like a half an inch of freezing rain, and like there's just a ghost town. No one's driving or anything. Like that's that's nothing, you know.
Oh yeah. So funny story, but before Tom Brady he retired, I was like, I like because I've been in plenty of games in Oakland, right? But I'm like, I gotta go see him play in Gillette Stadium, and so I was like looking at the schedule, and this was like I think in 2000, again 2008, I think 2019. So I was like, so I was like, and then that's when they had Baker Mayfield. I was like, so Cleveland Browns, they got Odell Beckham. It's gonna be a competitive game. It's in October. The weather shouldn't be bad. Oh my gosh, I get there and it's like pouring down rain, like literally like nonstop. And then the game wasn't even competitive. I'm like, I picked the wrong day after all, but because I wanted to go to a fun game. But
Right.
yeah, that was my story of dealing with that weather. I'm like, yeah, no, thank you.
Do you stay for the whole game?
Oh yeah, of course I did, but I made friends though. I went and talked with the people that were in the. I paid a lot of money to come, and of course I'm going to stay. I had my poncho on. I'm like, I'll dry. That's my. Eventually, like that's what people. If you get wet, you can always go dry off. It's not that big of a deal, And so,
Right.
and I think that's part of football. I've even like the Raider. I've been to Raiders game when it's like pouring rain the whole time, and it's like to me that's fun. I couldn't sit in the snow like they did last year for that Buffalo Bills game. I don't know. That'd be a challenge for me, but yeah, of course I stay. I think that's part of the experience.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. You stay for games even no matter what, because it's you're there supporting your team and you're there for the experience too. So
Absolutely.
biggest pet peeve.
Entitlement. People feeling entitled to things. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That and people that drive slow in the fast lane.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing. Yeah.
That drive and that just sparks the road rage in me instantly. That
Yeah.
if you're in if you're in a single lane going one way and there's a turn coming up and they have like the stripe goes off to the side so they have room to get over when they turn, but they don't get over in that little
Yeah.
and then they stop and like there's like nothing to stop for. It's like just go.
Yeah.
Oh, my kids are like looking at me like, Dad, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine.
But I think that goes down to like just having no common courtesy for people too. Like that's another big thing. Like you're saying, if you're in someone else's way, move. If you're gonna do something, do something. If you're, like another thing is people like who like I work in customer service. People like who let their kids like destroy our workplace. Like tell your kids no, man. Like control your kids. Like that's the thing too. Like parents are afraid to tell their kids no these days too. I'm like that's part of life. Like.
That and people at shopping center or food, I mean, anywhere, guys, shopping, anywhere retail, where people sit and they stand in the middle of the aisle and they look, are they running to you with their cart?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's that's part of the entitlement thing. Like they think they're the only shopper in the store, Like even like with the customers I know, like all the time. Oh, I didn't realize your name was on the front of the store anymore. Now you gotta go check the sign. And they're like, you're a jerk. I'm like, well, that's how you act, man. But these are people like I can joke around with about it,
Yeah, yeah. It's just you see. I mean, you see it all, and then it's like I think I drive fast, and then you go to Chicago and realize they drive even faster. It's like, wow. It's like where's the fire at, man?
Right? Go. My life's too important to slow down, man. Don't you know that? Don't you know who I am?
Favorite toy as a kid?
Probably my super like my superheroes figures. Like I like Robin and Superman, but I love my GI Joes too. Probably GI Joe. I'll go GI Joe. Final answer.
They're the ones that are like this big, right?
Yeah.
I love those. I had was it Warthog? He the guy that had the flat top.
Yeah.
And I remember I had Muskrat. He was the guy like in the green like army suit. I don't know. I would say for me it'd be like my GI Joes and Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
And then those electric circuit race car tracks. Those are fun.
So when I was a kid back in 1987, where I live, like our town got flooded. And so like I literally like lost all my old toys. And so if I had them all today, I'd be a very rich person.
Yeah.
I was like, damn it, even all my old comic books and stuff.
Yeah, some of the things that your parents throw away, you get rid of or you lose, and it's just like, man, this thing. If I would have had, people have like their their parents or their grandparents, they had the Mickey Mantle baseball card they used for the
Right?
thing
Oh
of
my
the
gosh.
spokes in their bike. They
What could have been?
right? Okay, you told me your sports teams. If you had the world's attention for 30 seconds, what would you say?
Try to leave the world better than you found it, and then try to find your similarities with people instead of focusing on the differences.
Yeah. Be yourself and find the ones that still rock with you.
And then also just give back. I think if everybody gave back tomorrow just a little bit, the world would be a lot better place.
Yeah. More acts of kindness.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep, I agree with you 100% there. How can you tell if somebody has a sense of humor?
They're just the way they carry themselves, you know. Like I think a lot of it's your mannerisms. I mean, if they smile, you know, just the way they carry themselves. Honestly, I think is how you can tell.
Yeah, like if someone gives you straight answers and no emotion, it's like, okay, it's gonna be a long day. Or someone like kind of like has a smirk and has like a somewhat not arrogant, but somewhat like funny answer or something like that. You can tell right away that they're gonna be.
Yeah, but even for myself, I gotta refrain it because I get too comfortable too quick. And but I was someone like F it. If they don't like me afterwards, they don't like me. Like I'm gonna be myself, you know. But yeah, definitely like you can just tell then the way they give it back to you. But also just I mean, I'm not gonna go stalk someone's social media to find out. Like I'd rather just judge them on how they are because they can be fake too. But yeah, I think just the way they act, their mannerisms and their personality. Yeah, the way they act.
What have you learned about life from kids?
Trust your gut always. Like that's something like, and I've done a thing before like that. Like where I honestly, I've done a study where like, they tell me I still think like a kid, like a kid can tell so good from bad. A kid can tell things like that. Just like, don't be afraid to trust your natural instincts and what your natural, you know, like your inner self tells you about people. Like trust, like go with your gut.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. And for me, it's that, and like life is precious, and that's what I learned. I mean, I got 5 kids of my own, and it's just some of the things and way you see them interact, and some of the questions they ask you make you like sit back and think.
And also go ahead.
No, you're fine.
No, just show kindness. I mean, kids are just the most genuinely like they try to be everybody's friend too. And I think that's something too. Like just choose kindness. I think something else you learn from kids too.
Absolutely. What is your worst habit?
Oh, procrastination easily. I like procrastinate. Yeah. Because that's just it. I've been through a lot of stuff in life, like I'm somebody who's in recovery and things like that. And so when you've been down and out and you've had to get stuff back up, I don't take things too seriously. Like at the end of the day, if something doesn't get done today, it could get done tomorrow too. Like it's like tomorrow's another day. I don't get stressed out about stupid stuff.
Yeah, I know I had you planned. Was it last week?
Yeah.
And something came up to where it's like, yeah, no worries. Take care of what you got to take care of.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the reality. Like, it's like there's nothing else I can do because you can't tell me, oh my gosh, there's not a TV in front of me. There's not my telephone. Like life happens, man. Like that, and that's it. Don't take it personally. It's not. Relax. It's like it'll all work out in the end. It's no big deal.
Absolutely. Are you a pizza fan?
Oh yeah.
What's your favorite pizza topping? Or a combination, I guess. I mean, I like. You guys have Round Table where you're at? Round Table Pizza. Is it like a chain restaurant?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, now I'm all about protein, so probably like a Meat Lovers. I like a good Meat Lovers pizza.
Yeah, we have a place or a frozen pizza. It's from it's like lots of matzo. It's like Brewpub pizza. It's called a Pick Six, and it has like 6 meats on it. So I mean,
nice.
I like toppings. I like everything pretty much but anchovies. So
yeah,
throw anything at me, I'll eat it.
I'm one that I used to love to make. I used to be a store manager for Pizza Hut, and so one I used to love to make was pepperoni, chicken, and garlic. A really good
Yeah.
combo.
That does sound good.
Yeah.
It's a good combination.
Chicken and pepperoni, it goes good together, whether people want to believe it or not. And
I
then the
like
garlic
eating
too.
pepperoni in a bowl with like celery and ranch. Just like
Nice.
a little
Oh,
keto.
you're on Team Ranch. Oh, it's all good to hear. You're not Team Blue Cheese. I like that. I like you even more now. The people laugh at me because I gotta have ranch with my pizza now because everywhere I go in California, they ask you, "Do you want ranch with that?" And so when you get asked every time, I'm like, now I want it. Like again, I've been conditioned by all the places here to want ranch with my pizza because every time I go somewhere, do you want ranch? Well, yeah, sure, okay, you know.
That's crazy.
Now I want it. Everyone asks you, every place. Do you want ranch with that? You want ranch with that? Yeah, sure. Every place asks her.
Ranch with pizza and ranch with chicken flats or drums or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever they're called.
Are you team drums or team flats? What's your?
Oh boy, I put this. If it's chicken, I'll eat it. Whichever one. Probably, I would have to say. I think you get, depending on the cut or the side. I think you get more out of the flats. I think you get more meat.
I like the drums.
Yeah, I mean, I'll eat both.
So,
I mean, I love chicken.
You and I, we could share a wing. You and I could share wings fine, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I love chicken. Anything to do with chicken, I'll eat. I mean, it's an easy go-to. My wife hates it. Like whenever she asks me, "What do you want for dinner?" We have chicken. I'm sick of chicken. I'm like, well, okay. You guys can have something else. I'll have chicken.
See, I'm the same way too. Like I could eat the same thing every day. Like I'm not picky with my food. So like I could have eggs for brunch and then chicken for like I'm not a picky eater. And so I'm the same way. Like I like to cook up for like 4 pounds of chicken breast at a time and then meal prep it for the rest of the week. I mean, that's simple to me.
Wow, that's just like what I do. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What past current trend drives you crazy?
TikTok.
Are you on TikTok?
No, I refuse.
No, I'm on there, but I don't really get into the. I mean,
yesterday, I had customers coming into I've had customers coming into our store and they're buying a bunch of glue up and they're like, I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, we saw a TikTok video where you can make your own slime. And I'm like, well, you realize you could buy slime for $1, right? And they're like, no, but we want to make it. And it's just like, so, and especially like in a small town, like where I come from, like people, they want to feel connected to the culture and to the trends. And so I feel like they're more likely to go try to make the TikTok videos where I live because they want to feel cool. Small town living.
I'm going to share a little comment we got here.
How nice.
Yeah, that was awesome. What do you do for fun?
I watch wrestling. I mean, that's the thing. That's my biggest, my guilty pleasure, watching pro wrestling. Honestly, doing stuff like this too. Like we do Wrestling Fan Insight, so we do our own podcast too. My partner John, he's been getting his Class A license, so I've been mostly filming it on X. But we do our podcast usually every Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays too. But just connecting with people that I met on our platform that we share. You know, just having fun like that. I'm a simple person. I mean, I grew up an only child, so I'm very entertained by myself, and so I don't need like a lot of stimulus. Like I can just literally go to the gym and have fun or go things. But I like to go to concerts too. But like I like sporting events too. I mean, I'm pretty simple, but yeah, I'll go with wrestling. Like watching wrestling, not feeling bad, not feeling guilty about it.
No, you don't have to feel guilty at all, man. Favorite place to vacation?
I'm gonna go with Vegas.
Vegas.
Oh, I guess both two of my teams are going to be there too. How convenient is that? Even though I'm really mad they left Oakland.
How far away is Vegas from you?
Like a 10-hour drive. I mean, I'm up in North. You know where Aaron Rodgers is from, Chico, right? That's where I'm from. That's where I live, up in that area.
Up in Chico, yep.
Yeah. So, I just think I'm enamored with Vegas. Like anything's possible there. You can go there and get anything you want within and to me, like just being able to go see a concert and then go to dinner and then you can go watch another concert. I just think something I do like as a hobby is I like to people watch. I love people watching.
So I went to the local mall to get my pick up my wedding ring because I have like a warranty on it. So every 6 months I got to take it in. If I have like loose diamonds or had needs repair, just take it in there. Well, I had to go pick it up, and I went and picked it up, and I was like, got the rest of the afternoon off. I'll just sit down on one of these nice comfy chairs here, and I'll just sit there and watch people, 11 o'clock in the morning,
yes.
and I'm just sitting there watching people.
Woo, high five. I love people watching. It's fascinating just watching people's mannerisms and what they do. Yeah, I love that people watch.
Oh man, it's like we're alike in a lot of similarities.
I don't get scared. Like let's go ride the subway and see what happens. Like I just people are fascinating. Like I would let me ask, would you eat a turkey leg in public?
Would I?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I think it's fun to watch people eat it. Like I think it's fascinating to see someone gnawing, see like an 80-year-old grandma gnawing on a turkey leg. I think that's fascinating times. Get it, grandma?
I can't ever have one of these without asking this question. What's your favorite type of cheese?
Pepper jack.
Okay. I like ghost pepper.
I've had that one too.
Yeah, I like the spicier. I do like pepper jack. That's what I grew up on, was like pepper jack. I think from pepper jack I graduated to like jalapeno and ghost pepper cheese.
When you ask this question, does anybody ever say American?
I got Swiss cheese the other day.
I'm like, as long as they're not saying American, I'm like, come on, guys. At least get cheddar. Let's graduate from the 8th grade already. Let's
I like the Kraft singles.
Oh good lord.
Those dudes.
I was listening to some I forget what comedian. I think it might have been Theo Vaughn. Yeah, I was talking about. Again, let's keep politics out of it. But he's like, I got the Kraft singles competency test. If you can open a Kraft singles, then you're halfway there. It's just like the way he said it was so funny. Like I was like, oh my, I was dying laughing.
Yeah. Your favorite pastime?
Baseball.
I've actually been watching the Brewers more. I've been trying to watch every one of their games when I can. And I mean, I grew up playing baseball, kind of more of like a basketball and football guy. But I think I've watched more games this year than I have watched in the last 10 years.
Nice.
And it's been they're like what, 60 games in, something like that, 50 games in. So yeah, they're a fun team to watch. And the cool thing about it is, you don't have really any really super big names like a Ryan Braun, or you don't have any of those guys. There's just a whole different, young class coming in. So I don't know. But yeah, baseball. It was always fun to play. I just didn't play it into high school. But
well, even for me, like baseball is like something everybody plays. Like girls play softball. Like it's just like it's a sport that unites people. And then for me, like it's just more chill. Like, I mean, again, I love a good pitcher's duel. Like, I love a 0-0 game. I love to see a pitcher dominate a game. I'd rather see that, honestly, than a slugfest.
Yeah, well, today the Brewers, they played against the White Sox, one of the worst teams in baseball, and they had their number one starter, Freddie Peralta, pitching, and he was up to like 44 pitches in the first inning.
Oh my gosh!
It's like, yeah, they're just keeping at bats alive, hitting foul balls left and right, but they ended up winning the game, I think like 6-3 or something like that. So that's nice. Good.
That's a lot of pitches for one inning.
Yeah, they pulled him like in the 5th inning, but
oh wow, he must have got his pitch count down to their innings.
Yeah, then they brought in some really good middle relief pitchers, and it was a good game. Favorite soft drink?
Zero sugar Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, we had that at one of our local stores, and whenever they ran it on sale, we would go in there and buy the whole shelf of it. And then they quit carrying it. It's like, why would you quit carrying a good thing? Well, I used to work at Green Bay 7-Up, which carried Dr. Pepper, and I happened to catch one of the salesmen that I used to work with at the store. I'm like, why did you guys quit carrying it? He's like, we can't keep it in the warehouse long enough. I mean, we can't get it. It's like, whatever.
Really?
Well, they can get it. I just don't think they know how to market. But that's
how much is a 12-pack of soda in Wisconsin right now?
Oh my God, like $8, $9, $10.
The same price as here. Okay.
But they run like we usually get like the half liter 6-packs, and we don't get them unless they're on sale. Like a 6-pack of these, and they had one sale where if you bought 3, you got 4 free. So if you bought 3 6-packs, you got 4 6-packs free or something like that. And like the total came down to like $238 a 6-pack, which is like, yeah, this is a deal you can't pass up. So it's like,
I literally have like 6 12-packs right now. Like, because I always, because again, it's so expensive. You gotta buy when it's on sale and stock it up.
Yeah, we have like 6-packs of like Diet Coke, Coke Zero, whatever, like stacked up out my garage on a pallet, and then the fridge out in the garage, just because when it's at a good price, I mean, you got to buy it because you're not going to spend $7-8 for 6 bottles of soda. It's crazy.
If you can find it, if they have it, try the 0 sugar strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper. It's amazing.
Yeah, they have it. It's just a matter of finding.
Yeah,
like there's obviously no work in there. Certain stores only carry certain things, and you got to find a store that has it.
I guess now I feel a little bit more happy to live in California because we have an abundance of Dr. Pepper. So I don't know what the difference is, but I can always.
It just depends on the market. Like when I worked there, I was like on the east side of Green Bay delivering, and a lot of the Hispanic like family like groceries or not restaurants, but like supermarkets, whatever, they'd carry like the Squirt, the Orange Crush, and like all the Tahitian Treat, Hawaiian Punch, and all that stuff. And then you go to the west side of Green Bay, and they've had the total different of what they carry. So you got to meet, what the demand is depending on the area. So I don't know. Anyways, I don't know why they don't have it, and my wife and I are still pissed off about it. We're not going to spend $8 on a 12-pack for the 0 sugar Dr. Pepper. She actually ordered some on sale from Amazon.
Oh wow!
You got 12 packs through Amazon for a really good price. So I guess whatever. She's looking for the deal, so I can't complain there.
I can't believe the stores don't have Dr. Pepper there. Is it not that popular?
They have Dr. Pepper, but they don't carry every certain flavor that they have. They did, but they have the 12 packs, but we're not going to spend an arm and a leg for a 12 pack,
See, I get the 12 packs on sale. Like right now, they're 4 for $12, or 3 for $12, which is a good price.
That's still a good price. $4 a 12-pack.
Oh, yeah. My newest one is they have a Country Time 0 sugar lemonade, which I like a lot too.
Yeah, that sounds really good. Yeah. What emoji do you use the most?
The laughing ones.
The laugh. Yeah.
Well, because I'm on X, and so I try to interact with as many people as I can. Like I have a lot of what do you call it, impressions on there. So as much as I can, I try to go back, and I'm usually like laughing back at people. So that's what I'm always using to like interact back with people.
What do you average for impressions every 90 days?
5 million a week, every 90 days. My last one was 45 million.
So are you getting paid through X? Hmm? Yeah. Is it worth it?
Now it is, yeah.
So
now it is because I feel like I'll just say I want to there's a lot of politics going on next. I think they're paying a lot of money in right now. So the money's been good. I've been making decent money. If I'm on there anyways, I might as well monetize off of it. That's how I look at it.
Right. So you think
it is like a little job.
Yeah, I'm like at 12.2 thousand people right now. I'm trying to move up slowly, but at what point, how many followers did you start getting that many impressions?
I started getting those impressions probably 6 months ago, but it was honestly just help of friends, just retweeting my stuff. And you just got to be consistent. Now I do 12 posts a day, every day, like consistently. I do a couple, and I do a couple before I go to bed. I do them right when I wake up. It is like a job. But at the same time, it is fun. It's good for right now is Men's Mental Health Month. I find X to be very good for my mental health. I have a lot of good people on there, like you, for example. You know, just people that are quality people that I like interacting with. So it's been a very positive experience for me.
I'm not gonna like, you know, you go in there and you see all these people that copy and paste like the shout out list and everything, and those people I block right away. You know, you get like the ones that have like they're following like 4,000 people, and there's like 75 people that are following them. Like, yeah, no, I ain't gonna touch this.
Yeah,
but
I don't like now that I'm doing so much. Now that I'm doing so many like impressions, people just follow me because they like my content now. I don't really do the follow trains that much anymore. I do a couple just to like support my friends, but most people just come following me now.
Yeah, I'll go in spurts, like doing follow trains, and it's like I get a few people saying, "Could you not, you know, include me?" And it's like that. I kind of feel like maybe I shouldn't have been doing them, but it's like I'll do like people individually for a little bit, then I'll maybe go back and do like a group of people that, you know, it's just I go back and forth with it. You know, it's hard. It's, you know, but I don't know. I want to think I'm doing a good job on there supporting people, I guess. Are you a morning person?
Make sure you're having fun with it, though. At the end of the day, it's got to be fun.
Yeah, it is. It's fun. I could say a lot of on the post that I see, but I kind of keep it short and simple. You know, I don't want to dig that hole.
Well, I mean, even like that, like, so the IWC, the internet wrestling community, it's very toxic. Like, it's very toxic. And like, if I interact I'll interact once, and if they say something where they just say another dumb comment, I just stop. I'm like, disengage, just walk away. There's no point. There's no point of going down. If someone's not willing to listen or have it, or even like be open minded, there's no point. Just keep moving.
All right. 2 more questions for you. Then I'll let you get on with your day. It's nighttime here. I have to be up at early tomorrow to head to Madison for a CT scan, so I'll keep it short. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Night owl.
Same. I'm both, actually. Then I catch myself falling asleep in the afternoon.
Oh no. No, and that's the thing. Like, too, like I work nights at my job because I like to go to the gym in the morning. But like, I give myself a window. Like, if I don't want to wake up till 9, or if I don't want to wake up till 10 in the morning, I don't wake up till 10 in the morning. But I usually go to bed around 2 or 3. But I don't. But again, I don't have kids either, so I don't have to worry about having to feed my family with that either. So,
right.
I like my schedule.
Final question for you: one thing that's overrated.
Chick-fil-A.
Yes. I had it, and it's like I can make a better sandwich at home, you know?
I'm like, so whenever I ask these questions, I'm always like, I go off price and value, right? So I'm like, for price and value, I like Wendy's. Like, Wendy's makes the good stuff, and it's reasonably priced. That's how I look at things for price and value combined. I'm not like I used to like like Five Guys. They're way overpriced now too. I'm like, no, thank you.
Right. Yeah, I like a good chicken sandwich, and if I could get one for cheap, I could just make it cheaper at my house, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like air fryers are the best invention made in the last 20 years. Like you can cook an air fryer and it tastes just as good as it does at a fast food restaurant.
Yeah, they have these chicken, like these. What am I trying to say here? Seasoned chicken patties or whatever at Aldi's, and you come in a pack of 5. I call it the red baked chicken, and you cook it in the air fryer. It tastes just as good, if not better, as Chick-fil-A.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or Chinese food too, like cooking like your Chinese food in an air fryer. It's a game changer, man. It saves money.
Even like if you have French fries left over from the night before.
Yep.
Like from McDonald's or Burger King or wherever you get them from, put them in the air fryer. It's like they're brand new. You know?
Ding, ding. Yeah, exactly. No, it changed the game for sure. I'm like, yes, thank you, air fryers.
Yep. All right. Well, listen, I'm going to get going. I'm going to let you go. I want to thank you for joining me today. Would you want to be on in the future?
Sure, I'm down.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. And you have a good night, okay, Carlos?
You too, man. I'll talk to you next time. Have a good night.
Yep. Later.
Later.